I'll be able to bring up.
All right, we're live.
Our book.
I think. Look at my cute little doll. This is my assistant for the day. My super cute friend, my beat buddy. All right, Mr. Danton, I'm going to check our website just to make sure that I am live, and then we're going to get going on this show. Actually, I don't think am I live right now?
You are live.
All right. So if you are watching this in replay, all of the items that I'm showing today is about the color blue. We chose blue because it's such a peaceful, relaxing color. The vibration itself of blue is pretty low key. It doesn't vibrate really high like the reds. If you think about it, isn't that interesting when you think about the color red too? And that because it's a high vibration color, not just I'm talking spiritually, but in its energetic form is why they use it for stop, right? Because it catches you. So blue is quite the opposite. It's very soft in terms of its vibration, relaxing, peaceful, calm. So it is a color that is used in doctors' offices. And I was just thinking about it the other day, like, why do we love the color blue? And I think it's something as a human being we've all been exposed to, right? The color blue. You see it in the sky. You see it in the ocean. So in terms of commonality, blue is a color that I think everyone has seen. All you have to do is look up. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. I like that idea that we all have that commonality. So we have that color blue. And today I wanted to show you some kits and mixes that we have done in blue. So our little homage to blue today. What I love about kits and mixes is it makes it so easy to get started on a project when you might not have an idea. Now my earring, isn't this exciting? My earring, I'm going to hold it up closer. We do have a crystal mix for it. Okay, so these are all crystals, Austrian crystals. And these are all tip drill. So tip drill crystals means that the holes are at the top. They don't run from top to bottom. Like they don't run, let me give you like an idea what tip drill is versus center drill. Center drill is something everybody kind of feels comfortable with because the hole goes right through the center of the bead. Tip drill is when it runs through the top of the bead, okay? I'm going to get my camera ready and I'm going to turn some things around so you can see what is happening on my screen.
We have Michael from YouTube saying good morning.
Good morning. So what I'm going to be doing with you right now is a little show and tell of some blue items. Now, Austrian crystals, these were made in a factory. And the people that started this company were named Daniel Swarovski. So he's one of the first people that came out of Bohemia, and then they made a machine that could facet crystals, cut crystals. Isn't that cool? So then these are it right here. You can make my earring, which I'll put down. I love it. The chain, we call this bubble chain, and the ear wires and the jump rings. If you need it, you can always contact me or any of us at the Bead Gallery. So this kit, look at the colors. This is not a typical color. One of my favorite things is coated crystals. So if you've never heard about a coated crystal, let me tell you about it. A lot of times these are called post-factory after effects. And so after the crystals are produced, they look like this, plain. I'm going to put it in this container. And you see how they're transparent and clear? So the crystal, it's really glass and it has a higher lead content and that makes it sparkle. When you put a coating on it, so let me show you the coating. It's so interesting because then you can see what happens. So this is a light sapphire like this with like, they call this a satin coating. So the coating, again, is an after effect, and it's usually done in other factories, but check it out. Isn't that gorgeous? You can see that there's a light sapphire under it, but the coating on top of it has made it pretty, like it has a deeper, sophisticated look. I love, love, love it. Since its base color was this light sapphire, you can make these two colors work easily together. Now, it's hard now for us to get these a particular brand with the coating on it. So I just wanted to show you. We have a few of these kits left. If you like it, you can go onto our website, or if you are in the live with me on our website, you can just click on that. So those are coated aftermarket crystals. So this is the same color again, the light sapphire, and this is the light sapphire with the coating on there. So pretty. Call this one satin. And then this is an aqua. Look at this color. So nice. This is aqua with a satin coating on it. This is one of my favorites. We do not have any more. This is over 10 years old stock already. Isn't that cool? I'm so happy to share this with you. I love Austrian crystals. I love them so much. These are precision cut, so they're all the same. The whole sizes you can completely depend on. And I love that the whole sizes you can put a jump ring through, so you don't have to do the briolette wrap. So that's my first share and tell today. And if you like blue, I have 50 more items that I'm going to be showing today on our Facebook Live. But I just wanted to give you a backstory on all of these products, because so many times, you know, I grew up as a beader 27 years ago. And so many things that I had to learn just kind of came over the last 20 years, right? It didn't just happen. So whenever I can share anything that I know, I love to do it. Danton, look, I'm going to show. Woo! Oh, no! I smashed your face, you guys. Are you okay? You just fell on your face. Holy smokes. So this is vintage. Now, vintage beads was my first foray into buying beads. For myself as a collector, I started off as a lamp worker. And what a lamp worker is someone who makes their own glass beads. And so I used to melt glass on a rod in a very traditional old way of making glass beads. And then I went to some bead shows after I started that, and I took up an interest in beading. And then I learned that vintage beads are something that is a little harder to get, for one, because they were made usually like pre-World War. So like in the 20s and the 30s, there was like a big surge of glass as reproductions of gemstones. I mean, that's been going on for hundreds of years. But in terms of like production coming out and making it more easily accessible, that was like 2030s glass in Japan, the Czech Republic. And if you look here, these are all colors, textures, and molds that are not current day. And so these are all about 70 to 90 years old. Now you can get German vintage glass, Czech vintage glass, you can get Japanese vintage glass, Italian, all the countries, right? This happens to be a Czech mix. These are called lentils. This baby blue color right here, this shade and this shade is one shade off of each other. And I mean, look at that. These are all shades of aqua. These are super special because it's clear with an opaque in there. And it's pronounced Givre, G-I-V-R-E. Sorry about my French. And this is a crystal clear glass. It also has a light aqua bit in there, and then it's luster coated. So this is like, whenever I look for vintage, I love anything with a luster finish, anything with a color within a color. I love anything faceted, and it has rainbow AB. So this is faceted, opaque, and AB. So I'm always looking for certain points to check off on my list of what makes it special, right? So in vintage, for me, again, and you can note this, if you ever buy vintage glass, what would make it special? One is, does it have like a luster finish? Does it have a AB, which means rainbow, aurora borealis finish? Is it faceted, which like this one is? Or does it have a color within a color? Because all of these things that I'm talking about means that there's an extra step involved in the glass, an extra step of not just producing it and just pumping it out. The faceting is extra, mixing the colors, putting an extra after effect coating on there, all of that. Oh my gosh, I could talk about vintage beads all day. I have such a great collection that I wish I could, I should start bringing them out to share with you guys. Would you want to see more vintage beads? I am not only a collector, I have a slight hoarding thing with them. So I do have a lot I could share, I could sell, or just to show and tell, which is fun. This kit right here, we call this one, let me see, Mr. Danton, what do we call this? The Vintage Aqua Glass Bead Mix. And there's 40 pieces in this one. You can find this on our website, or you can go to our website our live shopping, and watch this video again. There are direct links to each of these products in our live shopping. So you go to thebeadgallery.com, and all you got to do is click on live shopping. And then, so I'm making these videos as like an educational process. Here, I'm going to show you how to find it. So here's my iPad. Look, you can get website school today. And then you go to the navigation bar, and then you click on live shopping. And then in this episode of website education, you just click on the video that you want, and then you would find us there. So then these are all available in replay, which is super duper cool, right? So it's education, a little bit of sales. Who doesn't like those two things together? Learning, being creative, and buying something super cool. Now this is Czech Glass. This is modern day Czech Glass right here. Modern day Czech Glass, a lot of it is called Firepolish. So there's different, do you guys know why it's called Firepolish? Well, let me tell you. It's called Firepolish because you use fire to polish it. So we got to go to a factory in the Czech Republic about 15 years ago, and we saw how they make these little beads. It's fascinating. So each of the beads are made basically one by one, okay? And that's a process. And then they're ground in a little holder. You put them in, and then you take it up to a wheel, and you press it against the wheel to facet it. So that, after the facets are put in, you have to put it into a big barrel with a lot of hot, I guess what do you want to call hot mix of, it's not really shot. It's, I guess you call it little wood pieces and different kinds of things that are in a barrel that run around and take off all the edges that the faceting is, so that all the edges are soft faceted. So they are polished with a lot of heat in a barrel, and that's why it's called fire polish. So none of these are scratchy. All Czech fire polish is smooth, and you can wear it tight on your skin, so that's makes it like feel safe on you. So this one is a fire polish Czech glass mix. And so we took some of our favorite shades and we made mixes, because one thing I know that's hard to do is color palette. Anybody out there have problems color paleting and going, oh, does this look good together? Does it not? So we've had a bead store for 25 years. And one thing I like to do is make sure that you're going to be successful. Because who doesn't like that feeling of putting something together? Then how do you know it's going to be successful? Look, we made a project. Haha. I'll show you this project. This project right here. Do we have this project, Danton? For so that anyone can see, it's the lattice wrap bracelet. So we have a video on how to do this stitching, and we call this the lattice wrap. It's our most popular video on YouTube, and I'm not sure if we put this kit in today's live, but if we didn't, we definitely have this kit, and you can make this. It's got leather on the outside, it's got a thin nylon cord, and we have a lovely technique that makes it super tight and not move. So that lovely technique is on YouTube, and it's called the lattice, Lattice, because we're going back and forth to make this wrap. And I think you might have seen this definitely on like a Chan Lu style of beading. And isn't that pretty? I like it. I like all the colors on here, and it's random. You know when random works, aren't you happy? Because random versus the pattern. I mean, you can make a pattern with this. This has even amounts of the color. So you can go like medium blue, dark blue, light blue, gray. But I love that boho feel when something is not patterned. It feels more loose. It feels organic. And it gives you that feeling like, I wouldn't say, maybe carefreeness. Like everything doesn't have to be in order. Everything doesn't have to be like one after another to make you feel safe and good. that inherent creativity that comes with randomness is quite fun. So this was a Classic Blues Fire Polish mix. Super pretty. Thank you for enjoying that with me. And there is glass that comes from other countries. I think that there is similar beads from China, but I have to say, I would stick with the fire polish from the fire polish glass that comes from the Czech Republic, because I love the whole sizes. I love the consistency of all the sizing of the beads themselves. And I think you will too. Consistency and size on any kind of pattern is really important when you're a beader. Okay, this is the next kit, I think. Mr. Danson, what is my next thing I should show and talk about?
How about some of the Kyanite or the Happy Valentines?
Oh, the light catcher.
Yeah,
okay, and then, Danton, in my purse that I brought to work, I have 2 necklaces in the bottom of my black bag. Could you grab it? Because one of them is something I'd like to show and tell today. It's a kyanite necklace. Now, Danton, also, do we have a sample of the light catcher that I could share everybody that when it's made so they could see what the light catcher looks like? If you cannot see the light catcher, what you can do is, if you're in my live, you can just click on the light catcher icon, and then you'll see it right there. This light catcher, we have a video if you want to learn how to make it, and we call it Baby Knots. Baby Knots is super duper easy. I guarantee you, I promise you it's that easy that you could do it super easily, okay? So it has a Strass crystal at the bottom. So this is a real crystal. Hi, Betty. We are doing a lunchtime live. It is 11:20 a.m. in Hawaii. So we have a Strass crystal. We have a vintage crystal here. We have a Czech lamp where it's a blue bead that has a coating on it of, it's a white core, blue transparent outside. So it turns into a blue bead. Now, here's something really cool to think about. When you shop for beads, if you want a color that's more light to your eyes, not super intense, look for beads that are coated. Look for beads that have a white core and that have a transparent outside. Those will always be softer to the eye than if you just took the glass itself, like for example this, and made a whole bead of that color. So in trade beads, you can see the color red. They call those white hearts. White hearts are a kind of bead that has a white inner core and it has red on the outside. Heart is red, white hearts, right? So I guess you could call it a blue heart because it's blue outside, white inside. But this is a technique of diluting such intense saturated colors that when they're transparent look sometimes black to the eye. Red tends to look very black to the eye, and so the only way you can see red as a true red sometimes is to put a red coating over white, and then it'll look red to you. So that's kind of neat. I think I love bead facts. So then we have this Czech glass, which we designed for the store because I wanted a blue that was like a baby light blue. And then we have this really lovely aqua bead. Inside, can you see it shining? We had these designed with pure silver foil in the center. Now silver, pure silver, is one of the metals that works well, and it doesn't fight with the makeup of glass. If you're making a glass bead, you cannot just put anything inside the glass bead. There is a time when the bead, it's hot, right? So you're making a hot bead. And then as it cools down, the bead cools down, if there's anything in it that doesn't want to be there, it will cause the bead to crack. But silver is one of the metals that works really well with glass. So when it contracts and it's cooling down, it doesn't cause it to crack. And I love that it provides that reflective light that comes from the inside. And so when we had these custom made for us about 15 years ago when we went to the Czech Republic, I did a whole series with all silver foil lining. Now, had I known that, the euro was going to take over and the Czech krona was going to disappear and that the labor prices were going to change and the factories were going to close, man, I probably would have made like 50,000 more beads than I actually did. So I didn't. So these are getting more and more scarce. Oops, I'm sorry for the shakiness. I'm on an angle. All right. So this one right here is really special to me too. Can you tell I love all my beads? These are my babies. So this is a Austrian crystal. It has a rainbow aurora borealis on it, but this one, it has dichroic in here. Now, does everyone know what dichroic is? Man, I wish I was like a little elementary school teacher. I'd be like the teacher that always was, let's find out who knows something and who doesn't. Now, dichroic, di means two. Chroic is color. So it has two colors to it. Actually, there's more. So dichroic is a sparkle inside the glass that you have to put in, and it's using metallic oxides. The reason why it's called dichroic is because depending on how you move the glass, you see two different colors come out. So sometimes it'll look yellow and sometimes it'll look blue. Now within dichroic glass, there's tons of color combinations. This is just one of them in this dichroic bead right here. Just one of them. But it does cause that like sparkly snow globe effect to have the dichroic metallic bits in there. It looks like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of glitter. So this is one of our kits. It is the Happy Valentine's Day kit. Mr. Danton, can you highlight that one for me, please? The Happy Valentine's Heart Kit. We do have it in other colors. Over the years, though, because we couldn't get more of certain pieces, our kits for this particular style with the hearts has been less and less. So I think we have like only 3 more of this particular kit left. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you some kyanite.
I think we have time for the one last one.
All right, we're going to show you one last thing today. Is it going to be the KT484 with the kyanite? This one, the fun shapes? Or is it the round mix?
I've got Flatfun. Is that Flatfun?
Let's do Flatfun because I think I have some similar pieces in my necklace. Kyanite is gorgeous. Now, kyanite is a gemstone, comes out of the earth, and this is its natural blue color. Isn't that beautiful? Here, let me put it in my bowl. We've spray painted these bowls. I'm so happy I got to show it to you. Doesn't it look beautiful like this? Danton, isn't that gorgeous? Mm-hmm. You see that flossy shine in kyanite? It kind of looks like sponge sugar almost in there. So that's one of the characteristics of this stone, where you can see that flossy cotton candy like effect in there. You can see that in kyanite. You can see that in kunzite. I love it. I love it. It's a natural blue. A dyed version has come out in the recent years. Please don't buy that one because you don't want your kyanite to fade. You don't want it to be like where you look up close and you can see like the pools of dye in there. It's similar though, like from far you can run over and be like, oh my God, that's kyanite. So you always should ask, is that dyed or not dyed? Don't say, is this real? Oh, that's a tip for you guys today. Don't ever ask a vendor, is it real? Of course it's real. They're going to say, yes, it's real. It's in your hand. It's real. That's like just being kind of tricky. Just ask, has it been color treated? Is it dyed? Is that blue natural? Did it come out of the earth in that color? Just be very direct. And if they don't know, you can assume that I don't know. especially based on price. So be a good shopper and know if it is or not. We don't actually have dyed kyanite in our store. I prefer everything as natural as possible. Like our faces, our bodies, right? If we can keep it to what it looks like, when you put that energy on, you really feel it. Kyanite is a great stone for harmony. It's a great stone for harmonious communication. It's very peaceful. Try to keep this around your neck area so that when you speak, whatever comes out of your mouth is filled with love and it feels very peaceful and calming. So here is the Kyanite Crystal Quartz combo. This is my necklace. We don't actually sell this kit because that's my necklace, but I wanted to show you that you can get it. We do have Kyanite Rounds. Oh my gosh, we have so much kyanite in the store, so I don't want you to think that this is it, but this is it for what I'm showing you today. I'll just show you. See, it comes in round. It comes in flat shapes. Isn't that gorgeous? Do you see that slight asterism? You see it kind of how it looks like there's a star in there when you roll it around, depending on how the light hits. It's because of the way that the flossy fibers in the kyanite, imagine it like a little crisscross kind of thing happening. So the light is going in, bouncing out, and it looks so beautiful. Okay. That was it for today. I do have a live coming up on Facebook because that's where we sell our stuff. But I wanted to just give you guys some background on beads, why I love it. And if you ever have questions, please ask, because that way I can show you something related or a design or a technique. Okay, that was the kyanite. And I hope you have a lovely day. I'm going to turn the camera around so me and my bead buddy can say aloha. Oh, I wonder if we can make this with little shaka hands. Okay, bye. That was fun. Nothing better than starting the day off with beads.